Roth IRA versus 401k. The real math behind your retirement to people. Same age, same salary, same discipline, same ambition. But they made one different decision, and 37 years later, that single choice will be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. This is the story of Reza and Kamran. The starting line. Two guys, one goal. Reza and Kamran are both 28 years old. Both earn $75,000 a year. Both have committed to setting aside $500 every month for retirement. The only difference, Reza put his money into a 401k. Kamran chose a Roth IRA. That one decision quietly rewrote the rest of their financial lives. Reza's path, the 401k and the lure of free money. Reza's employer is generous. The company promises to match 50% of whatever Reza contributes, up to 6% of his salary. Here's what that looks like. Reza contributes $500 month, company adds $187 month total going toward retirement. $687 per month, but there's something else Reza loves about this. He doesn't pay taxes on it today. When Reza puts in $500, that amount gets deducted from his taxable income. At a 22% federal tax bracket, his $500 contribution actually costs him only $390 out of pocket. The remaining $110 effectively comes from the tax savings. Reza thinks, I'm getting free money from my employer, and on top of that I'm paying less in taxes right now. I'm winning. And on day one he's right. Kamran's path. Pain now, freedom later. Kamran chose the Roth IRA, and with that choice comes no employer match, no tax deduction today, $500 coming straight out of his take-home pay, money that's already been taxed. It stings a little. There's no immediate reward Kamran can point to. But Kamran has thought about something that most 28-year-olds never bother to ask when I finally take this money out. How much of it will actually be mine? Both accounts grow. The market doesn't care. In the early years, both accounts grow at nearly the same pace. At 7% average annual returns, $1 in a 401k grows exactly like $1 in a Roth IRA. The market doesn't know what kind of account it's sitting in. $1 is $1. But there's something sitting quietly inside Reza's account, a silent partner. One who hasn't shown up yet. One who is simply waiting. His name is the IRS. A silent partner nobody talks about. Every dollar in Reza's 401k has a portion that belongs to the government. How much nobody knows yet, because it depends on what tax rates look like in 2055. Every dollar in Kamran's Roth IRA belongs entirely to him. The government's cut was already paid at age 28, when his income was lower, and that's the end of it. This is the fundamental difference that almost every retirement conversation skips over. 401k, no tax now, a bill waiting for you later. Roth IRA. Pay the bill now, walk away tax-free later. It's a game of timing, and that timing can make a difference of hundreds of thousands of dollars. The 10-year check-in. Who's winning? Let's fast forward a decade. Both men are 38. Reza 401k. Total contributions including employer match. $82,440 after 7% average annual returns. $114,000 clearly ahead on paper. Kamran Roth IRA. Total contributions, no match. $60,000 after 7% average annual returns. $86,000, about $28,000 behind. Anyone watching from the outside would say Reza is winning, and they'd be right for now. But here's what the balanced comparison hides. Apply a 24% effective tax rate to Reza's $114,000 when he eventually withdraws it. and the real value drops to about $86,640. Kamran's $86,000. Every dollar of it is his. No tax owed, no conditions. Suddenly, they're neck and neck. The advantage that doesn't show up in the numbers. Kamran has one more thing going for him that Reza doesn't: flexibility. With a Roth IRA, the money you put in your contributions, not your earnings, can be withdrawn at any time, for any reason, without taxes or penalties. If a real financial emergency hits Kamran in year 8, he can pull out his $60,000 in contributions without paying a cent in tax or penalty. Reza can't do that. Pull money out of a 401k before age 59 and a half, and you owe income taxes on a full amount, plus a 10% early withdrawal penalty. That flexibility gap never shows up on a statement, but in real life, it matters enormously. The retirement scoreboard at age 65. Now let's see where both men land at retirement after 37 years of consistent saving. Reza 401k plus employer match, contributing $687 a month for 37 years at 7% average annual returns. Gross balance $1,620,000 looks incredible. Now apply a blended 24% effective tax rate on withdrawals. After-tax value $1,231,000. Kamran Roth IRA, no employer match, contributing $500 a month for 37 years at 7% average annual returns. Balance $1,178,000, and every single dollar is his. Reza wins on the gross number. Kamran wins on real, spendable money per dollar contributed. The employer match is the only reason Reza still comes out ahead. Without it, the Roth IRA would win outright once taxes are factored in. This is the point most people never reach. The bigger number isn't always the better number. You don't spend your gross balance, you spend your after-tax income. Reza's retirement isn't as smooth as it looks. Reza's challenges don't end with the tax calculation. Challenge 1. Required minimum distributions, RMDs. Starting at age 73, the government forces 401k holders to withdraw a minimum amount from their account every year, whether they need the money or not. If the market has been good, those RMDs can be large enough to push Reza into a higher tax bracket than he planned for. That means more taxes on his withdrawals, more taxes on his Social Security benefits, and potentially higher Medicare premiums. Kamran's Roth IRA has no RMDs during his lifetime. None. Zero. Kamran can leave his money untouched, let it keep compounding, and pass it directly to his children if he wants. Challenge 2. Nobody knows what tax rates will be every time someone contributes to a traditional 401k. They're making a quiet bet my tax rate in retirement will be lower than it is today. That bet might be right, but consider the history. Today's top federal rate, 37% in 1980, 70% in the 1950s. Over 90% for high earners. Tax rates move. National debt is growing. There is no guarantee that rates in 2055 will be lower than they are today. Contributing to a Roth IRA is locking in today's rate. Whatever happens in the future, Kamran already settled his tab. The real strengths of the 401k, don't ignore them. To be fair, the 401k has real, concrete advantages that Roth IRA advocates tend to downplay. 1. The employer match is the most powerful move in personal finance. If your employer matches 50% or 100% of contributions, that's an instant guaranteed return before the market does anything. No investment strategy on the planet reliably offers a 50% return in year 1. Skipping the employer match to go straight to a Roth IRA is one of the most expensive mistakes a saver can make. The match always comes first. That's not a preference, it's math. 2. Higher contribution limits in 2024. You can put up to $23,000 into a 401k. The Roth IRA limit is $7,000. For people who want to shelter as much income as possible, the 401k offers nearly 3 times the capacity. 3. High earners can benefit from deferring taxes now. If you're currently in the 32% or 37% bracket and you genuinely expect your income, and therefore your tax rate, to be meaningfully lower in retirement, the traditional 401k can be the smarter move right now. The problem is that most people overestimate how much their retirement tax rate will drop. They don't account for how much they'll actually accumulate, or how RMDs and Social Security can keep their taxable income higher than expected. 4. The Roth IRA has income limits in 2024. The ability to contribute to a Roth IRA phases out for single filers earning above $146,000 and disappears entirely above $161,000. If your career goes the way it's supposed to, if you keep getting raises and promotions, there may come a point where you're locked out of new Roth contributions entirely. There are workarounds like the backdoor Roth conversion, but they add complexity. The 401k has no income limit for contributions. So what's the actual answer? Both in the right order. The real answer isn't 401k is better or Roth IRA is better. The real answer is use both, but sequence them correctly. Step 1. Contribute to your 401k up to the full employer match. This step is non-negotiable. Free money with a guaranteed return is the highest value move available to any saver. Leaving it on the table means turning down part of your compensation. Contribute exactly enough to capture the full match, not $1 more at this stage. Step 2. Max out your Roth IRA if you're young and currently in a lower tax bracket than you expect to be at your peak earning years. This is the Roth's most powerful window. Every dollar you put into a Roth today, at a 22% or 24% rate, will be 100% yours in 35 years. No tax, no silent partners, no conditions. The combination of compound growth and permanent tax exemption is rare. Don't waste it. Step 3. Go back and fill the 401k once the Roth is maxed. Return to the 401k and contribute as much as you can up to the annual limit. People who follow this sequence capture the match, max the Roth, then fill the 401k, almost always end up with more after-tax wealth than those who are committed to a single account exclusively. One more thing worth mentioning, the Roth conversion. If you already have money sitting in a traditional 401k and you're wondering how to shift some of it into a Roth without triggering a massive tax bill, that's a separate conversation. And the timing of that conversion decision can be worth more than almost anything else in this article. Getting it right saves tens of thousands of dollars. Getting it wrong costs just as much. But that's a deep enough topic that it deserves its own discussion. The only question that actually matters. Reza and Kamran both did the right things. They both thought about retirement at 28. They both contributed consistently. They both made disciplined choices. The difference was that neither one mapped out the full picture. Reza focused on day one, free money and a smaller tax bill today. Kamran focused on the end, how much would actually be his when it mattered. Neither was completely wrong, but the question they should have both started with was much simpler than either of them realized. When do I want to pay the IRS today, when I know exactly what rate I'll pay, or later, when I have no idea? Everything else flows from that answer. If you're young, currently in a lower tax bracket, and your income is likely to grow, put the Roth first, after capturing the match. If you're in your peak earning years, in a high bracket, and you genuinely expect lower income in retirement, the traditional 401k probably makes more sense right now. If you're somewhere in between, use both, understand why, and keep the sequence straight. It is a long game. Retirement planning feels abstract. The numbers feel distant. 37 years is a long time to think about. But the decisions you make at 28 are the ones that determine whether at 65 you have something to leave behind, or whether you're still figuring out how to cover next month. There's no villain in Reza and Kamran's story. Both men tried. Both got some things right. The only difference was one question Kamran asked that Reza didn't. What happens later? That one pause. That one extra thought. The difference it made ran well into six figures. So the next time someone tells you to open a Roth or max your 401k, don't just nod and move on. Ask yourself one question first. When do I want to pay, today or later? Everything starts there.